Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will dive deep into the gripping drama unfolding in Port Charles as we explore the latest spoilers for Tuesday, May 6, 2025. From shocking power plays to hidden secrets and emotional confrontations, the residents of this beloved town are facing a whirlwind of challenges that promise to keep us on the edge of our seats. Let's unpack the tension, the betrayals, and the mysteries that are set to shake things up in this thrilling episode, with intricate details and captivating twists that expand on the original story. Portia and Brad's dangerous game of leverage. At the heart of today's drama is the escalating feud between Portia Robinson and Brad, whose long-standing dynamic takes a dark and intriguing turn. For quite some time, Portia has wielded significant influence over Brad, often holding the upper hand in their contentious relationship. However, the tables appear to be turning as Brad seems to have unearthed a damning piece of information about the esteemed doctor. This newfound leverage could spell trouble for Portia, as Brad is not one to let such an opportunity slip through his fingers. In a chilling preview snippet, Brad is seen confronting an undisclosed figure, ominously declaring that he's here to collect. This suggests that Brad is ready to demand a hefty price for his silence, perhaps a favor that could compromise Portia's morals or career. Could this be tied to a past medical mishap at General Hospital, or does Brad know something personal about Portia that could shatter her reputation? As their power struggle intensifies, viewers can expect a battle of wits and wills, with both characters risking everything to protect their secrets in a town where nothing stays buried for long. Emma and Jocelyn's high-stakes rivalry. Meanwhile, a different kind of conflict brews between Emma Scorpio Drake and Jocelyn Jax, as their rivalry reaches a fever pitch with a daring act of espionage. After Vaughn's recent audacious move, possibly a strategic play in the ongoing power dynamics of Port Charles, Emma finds herself momentarily distracted, shedding her clothes for a spontaneous swim at a local hotspot. Seizing the moment, Jocelyn, ever the opportunist, spies a chance to gain the upper hand in their cutthroat competition for a coveted position. With nimble fingers, she snatches a thumb drive from Emma's discarded pocket, a device likely containing sensitive intel or critical data tied to their shared ambitions. But Jocelyn's scheme doesn't stop at theft. She meticulously corrupts the file to sabotage Emma's plans before plotting to return the drive unnoticed. However, Emma isn't easily fooled. Emerging from the water with a refreshed yet wary demeanor, she quickly notices the missing item. As suspicion clouds her mind, she rallies support from Gio and other bystanders to search for the lost drive. Whispers circulate that it might have simply slipped out during her swim, but the tension is palpable. Jocelyn, caught in a delicate balancing act, must decide whether to discreetly drop the drive for someone else to discover or risk suspicion by claiming she found it herself. With their ambitions on a collision course, this covert operation could redefine their futures and possibly expose Jocelyn's ruthless streak to everyone in Port Charles. Willow's heartfelt doubts and Drew's desperate search. Over at the Corinthos residence, emotional turmoil brews as Willow grapples with trust issues concerning Drew Kane. In a moment of raw vulnerability, Willow turns to her mother, Nina Reeves, with a poignant question. Does Nina think she's foolish for placing her faith in Drew? The weight of doubt hangs heavily in the air, as Willow's heart wrestles with the possibility that she's been deceived by someone she cares about deeply. Nina, ever the protective mother despite her own complicated history, offers words of comfort and reassurance, striving to bolster Willow's confidence while navigating her own reservations about Drew. Yet, the situation grows murkier as revelations surface about Drew's recent drug test, which detected traces of ketamine in his system. This alarming discovery propels Drew into a frantic investigation to uncover who might have tampered with his life in such a sinister way. In a gripping preview scene, Drew confides in Max Scorpio, laying out his suspicions and fears while grappling with the implications of this betrayal. Though Drew may be innocent of this particular accusation, his past misdeeds loom large, casting a shadow over his claims. Could this drug scandal be the work of a vengeful enemy from his tumultuous history, or is someone closer to him pulling the strings? For Willow, the nagging uncertainty begs the question: should she stand by Drew, or heed the instinct to protect herself and her children from potential danger? The stakes couldn't be higher as trust hangs by a thread. Lulu, Tracy, and Carly's emotional crossroads. Elsewhere in Port Charles, emotions run high as Lulu Spencer finds herself reeling from Dante Falconeri's impactful words, which likely strike at the core of their complicated bond. Whether it's a confession, a plea, or a harsh truth, Dante's statement leaves Lulu grappling with a flood of feelings, perhaps rekindling old wounds or forcing her to confront a future she's not ready for. At the same time, Tracy Quartermain unleashes her fiery temper on Lois, demanding answers about the whereabouts of her beloved great-grandson. Tracy's protective instincts kick into overdrive, fueled by a mix of fear and frustration, as she refuses to rest until she knows the child is safe. Is there a hidden threat looming over the Quartermain family, or has Lois made a decision that Tracy deems reckless? The clash between these strong-willed women promises explosive drama, with family loyalty tested at every turn. Simultaneously, Carly Spencer is seen in a deeply moving exchange, her voice trembling with tears as she opens up about regret to an unnamed confidant. This rare glimpse into Carly's vulnerability hints at a past decision or loss that continues to haunt her, perhaps tied to her turbulent relationships or the sacrifices she's made for her loved ones. As these three women navigate their personal storms, their stories weave a tapestry of heartache and resilience that reminds us why Port Charles is never short on emotional depth. The mystery of Rocco's condition. Finally, a disturbing mystery unfolds surrounding young Rocco, whose sudden collapse after consuming just a single cup of alcohol raises alarming questions. It's highly unlikely that such a small amount of liquor could render him unconscious, prompting speculation about an underlying cause. Could Rocco be suffering from an undiagnosed medical condition, such as a heart irregularity or a severe allergic reaction, that amplified the effects of the drink? Or is there a more sinister explanation? Perhaps the beverage was laced with a dangerous substance by someone with ill intent? As his loved ones rally around him in panic, desperately seeking answers, the incident casts a dark cloud over the Falconeri family. Medical teams at General Hospital may soon race against time to uncover the truth, while Dante and Lulu face the terrifying possibility of losing another piece of their world. This unsettling development serves as a stark reminder of the hidden dangers lurking in seemingly ordinary moments, leaving viewers anxious for clarity and resolution. Next, we will delve into the tangled web of deception, betrayal, and family drama that is unraveling in Port Charles, centered around Nina Reeves' audacious scheme to sabotage Drew Cain and Willow Tate Corinthos' relationship. With secrets poised to explode, hidden alliances coming to light, and emotional confrontations on the horizon, this latest storyline promises to captivate fans with its intricate twists and turns. Join us as we explore the depths of Nina's machinations, the potential fallout with Willow, and the shadowy figures who played a part in this risky plot, weaving in fresh details and inventive elements to enrich the narrative. Nina's masterful yet risky plot unfolds. In the heart of Port Charles, Nina Reeves has orchestrated a cunning and ruthless plan to drive a wedge between Drew Cain, the ambitious congressman, and Willow Tate Corinthos, a woman caught in a storm of personal and romantic turmoil. Employing the services of a mysterious escort named Jacinda, Nina set the stage for a devastating betrayal by having Drew drugged during a seemingly innocent encounter. The execution of this scheme was chillingly precise, leaving no immediate trace of foul play as Drew's reputation teetered on the edge of ruin. However, as any longtime viewer of General Hospital knows, the truth in this town has a way of clawing its way to the surface, no matter how deeply it's buried. Nina's confidence in her airtight plan may soon be shaken as whispers of discontent and suspicion begin to circulate among the elite of Port Charles. Could a forgotten detail or a loose end unravel everything she's worked so hard to achieve? Perhaps a hidden recording of a conversation between Nina and Jacinda exists, tucked away in a safe somewhere, waiting to be discovered by a nosy journalist or a vengeful rival. As the stakes grow higher, Nina's seemingly impenetrable plot teeters on the brink of exposure, threatening to drag her into a scandal of her own making. Jacinda's payoff and the looming threat of return. To ensure her scheme remained under wraps, Nina took meticulous steps to cover her tracks, showering Jacinda with a hefty payoff that was meant to secure her silence for good. Not content with merely financial compensation, Nina arranged for the escort to be whisked away to a remote corner of the globe, far from prying eyes and the gossip mills of Port Charles. Every I was dotted, every T crossed, in a bid to make Jacinda disappear from the narrative entirely. Yet, in the soap opera world, such elaborate efforts often prove futile against the relentless tide of drama. What if Jacinda, having squandered the fortune Nina bestowed upon her, finds herself lured back to Port Charles by the promise of more money, or perhaps driven by a personal vendetta after feeling used in this dangerous game? Imagine her returning under a false identity, weaving her way back into the social circles of the town, ready to blackmail Nina for a second payout. The possibility of her reappearance in the coming weeks or months hangs like a dark cloud over Nina's head, a ticking time bomb that could detonate at the most inopportune moment, exposing the depths of her deceit to everyone she holds dear. The unseen hands, Portia and Brad's involvement. While Jacinda may have been the face of the operation, other players in Port Charles had their hands dirted in Nina's plot, adding layers of complexity to an already murky situation. Portia Robinson, known for her sharp intellect and moral compass at General Hospital, found herself reluctantly aiding Nina, perhaps out of a sense of obligation or a hidden debt from the past. Her role, though not fully clear, likely involved providing strategic advice or covering up medical evidence that could link Drew's compromised state to foul play. Meanwhile, Brad Cooper, always willing to dive into the underbelly of intrigue, took on the grimy task of procuring the substances needed to render Drew vulnerable, a concoction designed to create a loosey-goosey persona that would embarrass him publicly. Their contributions, though crucial, placed them at risk of being implicated if the truth emerges. What if Portia, burdened by guilt, let slip a detail during a late-night confession to a trusted friend at the hospital? Or could Brad, ever the opportunist, use his knowledge of the drug procurement as leverage against Nina for personal gain? With these two embedded in the conspiracy, Jacinda's return might not even be necessary for the house of cards to come crashing down, setting the stage for a dramatic showdown among all parties involved. Willow's fury and the fracture of family bonds. The inevitable moment of reckoning looms large as Willow Tate Corinthos is destined to uncover the shocking extent of her mother's machinations against Drew. When the veil of secrecy is finally lifted, perhaps through a leaked document or a bitter confrontation with an insider, Willow's reaction is bound to be explosive. If her feelings for Drew remain strong at the time of this revelation, the betrayal will cut even deeper, igniting a fierce clash between mother and daughter that could irreparably damage their bond. Picture Willow standing in the Corinthos family living room, her voice trembling with rage as she learns not only of the drugging scandal but also of Nina's hidden past with Drew's steaming encounters that occurred while Drew was courting Willow, a secret Nina kept buried to protect her own image. The hurt and disbelief could culminate in a devastating declaration from Willow, her voice cold and resolute, "I no longer consider you my mother." Such words would shatter Nina, marking a turning point in their relationship as Willow grapples with the idea of cutting Nina out of her life entirely, and by extension, from the lives of her children, Wiley and Amelia Corinthos. The emotional fallout could ripple through their family, with Willow seeking solace in unexpected allies while Nina faces the loneliness of her choices, painting a poignant picture of trust shattered beyond repair. Drew's potential manipulation and the ultimate showdown. Adding fuel to the impending fire is the possibility that Drew himself could play a pivotal role in deepening the rift between Willow and Nina. If Drew uncovers Nina's involvement in the drugging incident, perhaps through a private investigator he hires to clear his name, he might seize the opportunity to turn Willow against her mother as a form of revenge. With calculated precision, Drew could present the evidence to Willow in a way that paints Nina as the ultimate villain, manipulating her emotions to ensure that Nina is ostracized not just from Willow's heart but from the lives of her grandchildren as well. Imagine Drew, with a mix of genuine pain and strategic intent, sitting Willow down in a quiet cafe, showing her forged texts or doctored photos that exaggerate Nina's role in the scheme. His influence over Willow at this vulnerable moment could be the final nail in the coffin of her relationship with Nina, leading to a public disownment that reverberates through Port Charles. How far will things spiral when the full truth comes to light? Will Willow ever find a path to forgiveness, or will Drew's potential manipulation cement a permanent divide? As the layers of deceit peel away, the emotional and social consequences promise to keep fans glued to their screens, eager to see how this family drama unfolds. Next, we will uncover the dramatic downfall of Congressman Drew Cain, whose web of deception and manipulation in Port Charles is finally catching up with him. From shattered relationships to political scandals and dangerous secrets tied to deadly attacks, Drew's world is spiraling out of control. Join us as we explore the depths of his betrayals, the impact on Willow Corinthos, and the looming threat of retribution from powerful figures like Sonny Corinthos. With fresh twists, inventive details, and expanded narratives, this storyline promises to keep viewers hooked as karma delivers its long-overdue reckoning. Drew Cain's deceptive reign meets its match. In the bustling heart of Port Charles, Drew Cain, the cunning congressman often dubbed cutthroat for his ruthless tactics, is tasting the bitter fruit of his own schemes. For the past year, Drew has woven a tapestry of lies and manipulation, ensnaring nearly everyone in his path with a charm so polished it masks his true intentions. His ability to play the victim has been nothing short of masterful, painting himself as a misunderstood hero while orchestrating chaos behind closed doors. From local business deals to personal relationships, Drew has left a trail of broken trust, exploiting vulnerabilities with a cold precision that has shocked even the most hardened residents of this drama-filled town. But now, the tides are turning as his carefully constructed facade begins to crumble under the weight of his own misdeeds. Could a disgruntled former ally, privy to Drew's darkest secrets, be plotting to expose him in a public forum? Or perhaps an overlooked piece of evidence from one of his shady dealings, a misplaced email or a recorded conversation, threatens to surface at the worst possible moment. As Drew's empire of deceit shows its first cracks, the stage is set for a spectacular fall, one that promises to ripple through every corner of Port Charles with devastating consequences. Willow's blind faith shattered by betrayal. At the center of Drew's manipulative games lies Willow Corinthos, a woman whose unwavering trust in him has led to profound personal upheaval. Under Drew's smooth-talking influence, Willow was persuaded to make life-altering decisions, including divorcing her husband, Michael Corinthos, who is still recuperating from horrific third-degree burns sustained in a tragic incident. Without so much as a mature discussion with Michael, Willow severed their marital bond, convinced by Drew that this was her only path to happiness. The repercussions of her choices have been far-reaching, destabilizing her young children as they've been uprooted time and again, shuffled between Nina Reeves' home, the Courtemain Gatehouse, and finally Drew's newly acquired residence in a whirlwind of instability. Willow clung to the belief that Drew's love was her anchor, the one constant amid the storm of her life, until a heart-wrenching discovery shattered that illusion. Walking in on Drew in a compromising position with an escort, even if orchestrated through a sinister setup involving drugs, left an indelible image burned into Willow's mind. No explanation can erase what she witnessed, and the trust she placed in Drew lies in tatters. Perhaps Willow will uncover a hidden journal or overhear a whispered confession that reveals Drew knew more about the setup than he claims, deepening her sense of betrayal. As she grapples with this devastating blow, Willow faces a crossroads. Will she seek answers, or turn away from Drew forever in a bid to reclaim her fractured life? Viral scandal threatens Drew's political empire. Karma has arrived in Port Charles with a vengeance, and Drew is feeling its full force as the fallout from his indiscretion explodes into a public spectacle. The shocking footage of his encounter with the escort has spread like wildfire across social media, becoming a viral sensation that has left both his political career and personal life hanging by a thread. Once a rising star in the political arena, Drew now faces intense scrutiny as constituents and opponents alike question his integrity, with headlines blasting his name in connection to scandal and deceit. The McConkey Espionage project, a cornerstone of his public image, could be jeopardized as investors and supporters distance themselves from the controversy. Imagine late-night talk shows in Port Charles buzzing with satirical takes on Congressman Cutthroat's misstep, while local reporters dig into his past for more dirt to fuel the fire. If Drew thought this viral humiliation was the worst of his troubles, he's in for a rude awakening. Whispers around town suggest that this is merely the opening act of his downfall. Could a rival politician, sensing weakness, leak additional compromising material to seal Drew's fate, or might a mysterious whistleblower emerge with proof of his deeper corruptions?